What's up everybody, it's Roman Gaming here. So we all knew that today we were supposed to get a new Uncharted 4 gameplay demo, and fortunately it already got leaked beforehand. So right now it is not actually released yet as I'm talking to you in this video, but I've already managed to see it because it got leaked, and yeah, therefore I just wanted to talk with you about it. And you'll probably see this video go live literally the moment that the gameplay is also released, so that's pretty exciting. Now basically, you know, I wrote down a lot of things that I wanted to quickly discuss in this video, but in general what I wanted to say is that this to me really felt like Uncharted just taken to the absolute next level. This is what maybe if you think about it, Uncharted should have originally already been. We've already kind of gotten that hint with previous demos, with the, you know, PlayStation Experience demo from 2014 in that giant open jungle, but also with the E3 demo where we were chasing down the alleyways, you know, like being followed by this car, and it seemed like we could go in all kinds of different directions. Yeah, we already knew that the game was going to be way more open, but in this gameplay demo that really got to a point where it felt like, oh my god, this is absolutely incredible. It feels like you are able to decide for yourself where you want to go. There's treasures hidden in different locations, and this is pure exploration, which is what Uncharted should be about, right? It's about treasure hunting, it's about Nathan Drake going on a real adventure. So in general, I was super excited when I saw it. I absolutely, you know, was blown away by it myself, and I can't wait to see what the full game itself will also offer. But anyway, let me get into these notes that I wrote down. We start off with a quick opening cutscene where, you know, Sully kind of like loses signal on a satellite, and Drake says, well, you know what doesn't lose signal? The map does. And so he pulls out the map, looks on it, steps into the car, and that's basically where the gameplay demo begins and where you get control over the car, of course, that Drake is driving with Sam and Sully in it. You know, just as how we saw that in the E3 demo before in June of last year. First thing that immediately caught my attention was simply holy graphics. You know, it looked absolutely incredible. From all the details, from the face models to the lip syncing to, we see it later on in the demo, we hear these animals and then we look around and you actually see them climbing up trees. The details is what Naughty Dog really mastered super well in this game. They've always, you know, done an amazing job at that with their previous games as well, so no wonder there. But nonetheless, yeah, totally something that I immediately noticed. The chapter that we're actually playing seems to be chapter 10, which is called the 12 Towers. You see it in this new font, the same as the Thief's End is written in, this very handwritten kind of font style. And yeah, chapter 10, so I assume that's going to be somewhere in the middle of the game, maybe a little bit earlier than that, but yeah, you know, that's basically where it takes place. So that's where we get into the open areas, right? As soon as Drake jumps into that car and you get control, you instantly see that there's multiple ways to go, and Naughty Dog does a great job at making you feel like you can go everywhere, although of course that is still going to be limited. There's always going to be these boundaries where you simply can't pass them. You know, like every single path is either going to lead into a dead end with a treasure in it, and there's only going to be, you know, a possible treasure in it, of course, and there's only going to be one way where you really are supposed to go, because the game is still linear and you can't, of course, go everywhere as you want to. No, you simply can go off the beaten path to explore it and maybe find treasures in those areas. But yeah, you know, we also see that Nathan Drake is able to freely step out of his vehicle. So I think in the, you know, almost in the very first couple of minutes, you know, Drake drives to this certain point where he steps out the vehicle and then finds a treasure on a certain, like, destroyed building or something it is. I don't know what it was. But yeah, you are able to freely also step out of your vehicle to explore it. Then another thing that I really noticed is simply the banter between the characters. You know, Sam and Sully talk a lot in this demo, and it's just hilarious at some points, right? What they basically talk about, their history, their past and stuff like that. As soon as Sam mentions, gentlemen, we're on a pirate adventure, and Drake calls him out saying, what are you, 7? Like, that's just hilarious, you know. I just absolutely, you know, just laughed my ass off when I heard that, and that's what we know, you know, Uncharted from, of course, is these hilarious conversations, you know, during the games and stuff. So we also see Drake finding a certain note, and then he's able to either read it, you can also turn it and zoom in on it, and it seems like you have the ability to either, you know, choose for yourself pretty much what you want to do with it. You can put it away, you can also manage to save it into your notebook, and then you can put the notebook away and you will actually keep it. So there is freedom there. We see Drake this time around in real time making notes on his notebook like we've never seen before in the other games. So it's just, once again, it contributes to all these details that we see, which Naughty Dog does such an amazing job at, and I think that's what this game really is. It's like a step up from all the stuff we've seen before on the PS3 and Uncharted. This is really what it should have been from the beginning if you think about it, but it's great that we're getting this now, and I can't wait for it myself. So once again, the banter I mentioned between Sam and Sully, we see that at a certain point as well, where they just keep going on, and then Drake at some point kind of gets tired of it, steps out the vehicle. You can hear Sam saying, Nate, what are you doing? And Nate's just like, yeah, whatever, I'll just go explore this. And as soon as he gets back into the vehicle, Sully instantly says, so Sam, what were you talking about? And they just continue the conversation. Once again, one of these great details that we see in there. At some point we see Drake who finds tire tracks, so he knows he can go up that way, so you have to make use of your environment to find the path that you need to go to. There was also a part where you can use your winch from the car to actually tie it to a tree by walking around it, and then you can manage to get the car up this giant mudslide. So just making use of the environment once again there as well. And that's pretty much the part where we get into the combat, because the demo ends with like 4 minutes of this combat section where they find an outpost. I think something like an explosion happens, so that's why they know that there's enemies there. So Drake kind of like, explores the environment, sees a lot of them there, to the point where, it's basically around this giant outpost with a massive tower in the middle of it. So what happens is Drake, gently starts walking through tall grass and stuff to explore, at what positions the enemies can be found. And that's where we see we can actually also mark them. So you can take out your pistol, aim at them, and you can actually mark them, so you always know where exactly they are. So that's also a great new mechanic that we didn't see before in the other ones. And that's pretty much where, the combat section takes place, which we kind of already knew how that's going to play out all the time, right? Drake was able to climb up a building once again, pull down this enemy, and that's why he takes out his sniper and starts shooting at enemies. I think there was about 10 of them in total, I would say, and that's when the firefight ends. Something I noticed there as well is that the friendly AI seems to be way more interactive this time around. You might remember from previous Uncharted games that your friendly AI characters would always just stay behind cover and it's very passive, but this time around we saw Sully like running through the entire area, shooting at guys while he did so, and it felt way more interactive and just, once again, that's how I describe this whole demo. It's Uncharted, the Uncharted formula taken to the absolute next level, and everything we saw in this demo contributed to that fact. So in general, I myself am super excited for it. I can't wait to see what the final game will actually offer us there. But for now, those were kind of like my thoughts on it, and yeah, I was blown away by it. I can't wait to see what the final game gives us. But with that being said, of course, I want to know your thoughts in the comments as well. So tell me what you thought about it, of course. And then for now, thanks a lot for watching. Look forward to a lot more Uncharted coverage on my channel in the next 35 days, with all the way leading up to the launch of the actual game. And then for now, as I said, thanks a lot for watching. I hope to see you again next time.